bless the Lord for His hour He has given unto us. I'm humbled to be in this presence this evening, and I'm thankful for this chance that He has called us together, fellowship together, and share on the topic of balance acts. Tell your neighbor, balance acts. Balance acts. Wow. And today is a very big day. It's a very big day today. Can you imagine? The grace of God, if you could locate, you'll see wonders. Mwambie tena. Sure, that is a sure thing. That when the grace of God locates you, you're going to see wonders. Amen. Yeah. I'm privileged. This is my first time I'm starting on this to minister, and I thank God. No one of that grace that God locate. Shukuru Mungu. So trust God that however you will be here one day, one time. Amen. I will not take much of my time. I'll go direct to the topic of today on balance acts. Sasa jirani yako ukisikia something on balance acts, what is that? Unafikiria nini? Mbona neighbor yako unafikiria nini? Amekwambia nini? Amekwambia nini? Anasema anajua. Anajua tu vile iko tu. At balanced diet. Hey. Okay. Balance act, according to the Bible, according to what it is that we view it to be, balance, the meaning of the word balance. It is the aspect, balance is, balance yenyewe vile unafikiria ni kufanya nini, kama weighing something pamoja, si ndio? Kama una balance sukari. Ni kubalance sukari na mchele. Unajaribu kubalance, ndio? Hiyo sasa. But now, according to the Bible or the biblical understanding of the meaning of balance, it is putting God in place in life that He should be and putting oneself in a lesser position. Yeah, it is that act of putting God in the place in the life that He should be and putting oneself in the lesser position. That's the meaning of the word balance according to the Bible. And this topic, as I was researching on it, I was asking myself, what is it that we are going to hear from the Lord on the topic of balance act? I wonder, will I share on balancing sugar and salt? Will I share on balancing between what and what? But what it is that we are going to share on this topic of balance act, it is going to help us understand the biblical understanding of time and seasons, the strategic planning on realistic goals and ways of balancing these different aspects of life. And to start with, I'm going to start on how to on the biblical understanding of time and seasons. How will you be able to understand the time and seasons that you are in life, so as to balance, to put God in the place that God is supposed to be, and put yourself in the lesser position? What is now, how are you going to understand this time and seasons that will be able to balance your spiritual life and your life purpose that God has called you for? Watu wanja mnanisikia? Kwa pamoja? Wow, thank you. And now, the biblical understanding of time and season, we all know according to Ecclesiastes 6. Is it Ecclesiastes. Bwana nataka mtuke kidogo. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, it talks about the time and season. There is time and season for everything on the earth. And so there is nothing that is consistent on this earth. Things keep on changing, varying from one situation to another as time goes by, and their now results are into seasons. This how these things keep on changing, varying from one level to another. This brings us to what it is that are called the seasons of spiritual life. And we are going to begin with the first season in the spiritual life of a Christian. And the first season is the season of preparation. Season of preparation. The first season of the spiritual life of a Christian. And in this season of preparation, it is the season that God allows you to go through hardship, to go through obstacles, to go through challenges, that God will go through the valleys that God is going to prepare you for something great. According to the book of Exodus, chapter 3, the story of Moses. We can see Moses, he was in this season of preparation, when God was preparing him to be someone great, someone who was going to save the Israelites from the bondage. And now Moses, when God was preparing him, Moses was a sheep. Sheep what? Moses was a sheep handler in the house of Jethro, the in-law to him. And during these times, Moses alikuwa anafanya kazi kwa Jethro, alikuwa na hand sheep, anafuga hao sheep. And during those times, Moses alikuwa anajiuliza, why did God place him in this situation? Ama mbona Mungu anamweka kwa hii situation ati ana take care of the sheep? But in mind, Moses was with God and was allowing God to use him in this moment that he was having the sheep. And Moses used to take time, most of his time, he went on his knees, he went to pray in the mountain of Sinai and prayed and asked God to lead him, to show him the great way that we want him to lead. And during these times, Moses invested a lot on God. He used to serve God, he used to seek God in all dimensions, that God may place him in a situation that is going to lead his people. Until the time gone, Moses saw a burning bush, and he asked Moses that he has chosen him to go and deliver the children of Israelites. And so through this scenario, it clearly shows us the season of preparation, where God is preparing Moses to be the leader, to be the one who is going to deliver the Israelites from their bondage. And it is now the season of preparation. And in this season of preparation, we see that there are many challenges, there are many obstacles, and there are many hardships. That you have to go an extra mile, you have to dig deep on the Lord, that you are going to invest more of your time on God, so that He is preparing you to become something greater. Because if Moses couldn't have invested much on God, he couldn't have been chosen to be the leader among the Israelites. And now in this season, there are three phases of, in the season of preparation, there are three phases. And the first phase in the season of preparation is the phase of discovery. In this phase, you discover three things. You discover God, you discover yourself, and you discover your potential. Discovering God is this moment that you find yourself that through this hardship that you're passing through this difficult time you're passing through these obstacles that you are going through, that you need to seek God diligently without compromising yourself from God. You seek Him in truth and spirit, and that's how you're going to discover yourself. In the book of Daniel chapter 9, Daniel 9 talks of Daniel, the story of Daniel. When Daniel saw that God had prepared a desolation in Jerusalem, that He is going to destroy the people in Jerusalem for 70 years. Daniel went on his knees, he fasted, he prayed and asked God to forgive the people who are in Jerusalem, for they had turned away from God. They had forgotten the God whom they worship, and they instead worship the God of King Nebuchadnezzar, who worshipped the God of idols. And in this moment, Daniel discovered himself that he has God alone and not to compromise his worship for God for anything else, but to discover God as the author and the perfecter of everything. Then you discover yourself. In the book of Daniel, the same book, Daniel chapter 3, verse 16 to 17, talks of Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. When they were thrown on the fire, and this King Nebuchadnezzar asked them, choose from yourself who is going to deliver you from this fire. And Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego had no answer unto the king, but they said that the God whom they worship is going to deliver them. And that is how you discover yourself, that you don't have to be thrown to compromise your worship for God, your trust for God, and your belief for God, just because of the obstacle that you face in life, just because of things that come on our way. These are things that strengthen us, they motivate us, and they bring us closer to God. And that is how, through this season of preparation, you are going to discover. After discovering God, you discover yourself. And also, the last thing you will discover in this phase of discovery, you are going to discover your potential. In the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 13, what does this Bible verse say? Philippians 4:13, what does it say? I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This verse, we as Christians tend to take it so light that it means that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We tend to take it so light, but deep down what Paul was trying to say to the people of Philippines, he was telling them that Paul and passed through many struggles trying to minister, trying to preach the gospel of God to the people of Philippians. And so it came to a point that Paul was thanking them for accepting the call of God and the ministry. And now, Paul was in a situation that he would say that he is able to overcome anything that comes on his way, despite whatever comes on his way. That he is able to withstand through the times of hunger, the time of thirsty, when he is well fed, when he is not well fed, when in plenty and when not in plenty. So at this moment, Paul discovered his potential, that he was able to deliver and to conquer all the obstacles that were there as he was trying to reach his ministration to the people of Philippi. So you discover your potential, that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Despite the challenges, despite the obstacles, despite the situation that you are passing through, in this season, you have to discover your potential through Christ, Lord, in your life. Then the second phase in the season of preparation is the phase of development. The phase of? The second phase is the phase of? Thank you, the phase of development. And in this phase of development, you develop two things. The first thing is you discover your mind, and the next thing is you discover your potential too. On the discovery of your mind, you discover that in the book of Philippians chapter 2 verse 4 to 5, that do not look on my own interest, but also look on the interest of others. In this phase of preparation, we have seen all through from the beginning, the story of Moses, the story of Daniel. Through these people, even the story of Paul, through these people we have seen the development of their mind. That they did not choose themselves, they choose others. When Daniel was praying because of the desolations of Jerusalem, he asked God and he repented and fasted for the sins of the people in Jerusalem. That he did not consider himself as pure before the Lord, but he also cried also for the sins of others. And also, so that's why in this phase of development, you develop your mind. That you just don't look on your own interest, but also look on the interest of others. And the second thing that you develop is you develop your potential. In the book of Colossians chapter 3 verse 23 says that whatever your task, work heartedly as serving the Lord, not men. Whatever your task, work heartedly as serving the Lord, not men. You discover your potential. Here is where you serve God diligently, heartedly, as serving the Lord and not serving men. Because this is the season that God is preparing you for something great, to be a vessel of worship unto Him. So in this season, you develop your potential on Lord. How diligently are you going to serve God? For example, if it is singing, you sing as if you'll never sing again. You are not singing just for people to see you have good voice. You are not singing just for people to see that you have